Once upon a time, there was a rich and successful merchant who lived in a city. As he got older, he started thinking about life, and realized that the challenges of aging affect everyone, regardless of wealth. Wanting inner peace and happiness, he gave up his wealth and became a humble monk in a faraway forest. In the peaceful forest, the former businessman focused on meditation and improving his mind. Gradually, he let go of negative thoughts and found deep joy and satisfaction. People who met him were drawn to his calm and kind nature, and 200 followers joined him on his spiritual journey. Among the monks, there was one who always had a gentle smile. He looked dignified, but radiated unshakable happiness from within. During celebrations, his laughter would fill the forest and bring joy to everyone. Others became curious about the source of his happiness, and asked him about it. Smiling, he would say, "If I told you the truth, you wouldn't believe me. And if you thought I was lying, it would dishonor my respected master." The wise old master recognized the genuine joy in his disciple and made him his chief assistant. One year, after the rainy season, the elderly monk and his 200 followers visited the city. The kind-hearted king allowed them to stay in his pleasure garden for the spring. The king had many responsibilities, like protecting his people, maintaining peace, and dealing with challenges in his court. He also faced threats from unhappy subjects and worries about the kingdom's finances. Despite all this, he couldn't find true happiness. As the days grew warmer, the king noticed the old monk's declining strength and approached him with concern. He suggested that the monk's followers could go to the forest on his behalf, while he could stay in the city under the king's care to ease his burdens. Deeply moved by the king's kindness, the chief monk called his #1 assistant and explained his decision. He said, "You will lead our fellow monks in the forest because I am too old and weak now. I will accept the king's offer and stay here." So, the 200 followers returned to the peaceful forest, while their respected leader stayed in the city. The #1 assistant continued his meditation practice in the serene forest, and his wisdom deepened, bringing him even more happiness. Over time, he felt a strong desire to share his newfound joy with his beloved master. Excitedly, he journeyed back to the city to visit the chief monk. When he arrived, he humbly sat at his master's feet, and they often had silent conversations. Sometimes, amidst their peaceful moments, the #1 assistant would softly say, "What happiness! Oh, what happiness!" Aware of the visit, the king approached the monk to seek an audience. As he showed respect to the esteemed monk, the #1 assistant, absorbed in his bliss, kept repeating, "What happiness! Oh, what happiness!" He was so focused on his inner joy, that he momentarily overlooked the king's presence, unintentionally making the king feel disrespected. Feeling uneasy, the king turned to the chief monk and asked, "Is this monk ignorant, or too indulgent? Is his happiness a result of idleness and overeating?" With calm composure, the chief monk replied, "Dear king, please be patient, and I will explain the source of his boundless happiness. It is a knowledge known to few. In his past life, he was a powerful king, wealthy and authoritative, just like you. But he renounced his royal life and chose the path of a monk. Comparing his fleeting happiness from before, to the immeasurable joy he now experiences, he realizes how insignificant his past wealth and power were." The chief monk continued, "In his past life, he was always surrounded by armed guards who protected him from harm. But now, as he sits alone in the forest without fear or worldly possessions, he needs no external protection. By letting go of the burdens of wealth and the anxieties of power, his wisdom protects him and others. Through dedicated meditation, he has attained such profound inner peace, that he can't help but exclaim, 'What happiness! Oh, what happiness!'" The king's heart filled with understanding and peace, as he heard the story of the happy monk. Being in the presence of these enlightened beings, brought comfort to his weary soul. After spending some time with them, seeking their guidance and wisdom, the king paid his deepest respects and returned to his palace with a lighter mind. In conclusion, the story teaches us valuable life lessons that can profoundly impact our life. True happiness comes from within, not from external achievements or material possessions. We must shift our focus from the pursuit of wealth and power to cultivating inner contentment and peace. Letting go of attachments and embracing simplicity allows us to free ourselves from unnecessary burdens and find greater fulfillment. By detaching ourselves from the transient nature of worldly possessions, we can discover lasting joy. Mindfulness and meditation are powerful tools for finding inner peace. By calming the mind and deepening our self-awareness, we can navigate life's challenges with clarity and tranquility. The pursuit of genuine happiness requires a shift in perspective. We should prioritize inner contentment, personal growth, and the well-being of others over materialistic desires and external validation. By reflecting on these life lessons, we can make conscious choices that lead to a more meaningful and fulfilling existence. Let us embrace simplicity, practice kindness, and nurture our inner selves to experience the true joy and happiness that lie within us.